So hopefully, is that recording video? Yes, it is.
Start.
You got the microphone. So yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and this time I turned my webcam on so you can see this bitch waggling her eyebrows when I'm trying to record. And moving about, not sitting still. Also, we've got a special guest of Smitty. We brought him all the way out here from Canada, wherever he fucking lives. Because why not make it cheesy? And
he yeeted himself here.
He yeeted himself over. Oh, and obviously Stitch over your shoulder. Anyway, today's one we're going to be reading is from a cultivated collection of horse smut by Little Big Pony on fimfiction. Link will be there somewhere. She does that. There'll be a lot of involuntary twitches up from here on this. And yeah, Operation Mystery Man. Again, she has not read any of the stories we're doing. I'm the only one who knows all these, so I'm picking them out. And yeah. So to start off with, I'm going to get her to read the title, author's note, and then the female point of view and female ones. So, will you take it away while I enjoy some fig rolls?
Eat your fig rolls.
I mean, my fig rolls, good.
Operation Mystery Man. Author's note contains Sunset Shimmer, Human Main 6, Reverse Gender Roles and Equestria Girls, Tactical Man Stealing, Hand Jobs, Exposure, copious amounts of teasing and cum, boobs, inappropriate acts in a classroom, among other things. So, be Sunset Shimmer. I don't know whether you want me to say that or not.
Yeah, you say those bits.
Okay. It was a Friday during home economics. Since it was the last class of the day, your teacher decided to let you all bake something like he usually did on Fridays. You'd all bake some crappy cake, the teacher would give you A's, and you'd all leave with something sweet to eat up for the weekend. You and the girls would flirt with a couple of guys while Pinky made some crazy 10-tier cake.
Call it Pinky.
Usually it'd be fun, but not today. Today was a special day, one that you and your sisters had been planning out for weeks. It had been a pain in the ass getting everything ready, and there were variables that could mean trouble for all of you. But you were as ready as you'd ever be. Operation Mystery Man was a go. Insert Thunderbird theme tune.
No, don't you dare bring Thunderbirds into this. No, bitch. I have something to throw at you. No, I got my fucking paddle. I found it. I'm gonna send Ben to this video file. And there's the tomato.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on.
You, Pinky, Fluttershy, and Rarity were all in the class. Fluttershy had gone to the bathroom to get ready, and Pinky was putting the finishing touches on your group's cake. You and Rarity were sitting in the corner with your phones out, getting into contact with other girls. Rarity, is Rainbow ready? Fuck's sake. Rarity, is Rainbow getting the van ready? Rarity, whose fingers were typing so quickly that they were a blur, nodded. She just texted me, darling. She's waiting in the back of the school with those doors open. Good, you said with a nod. We're going to have to get out of here fast if we don't want anyone to stop us. A message popped up on your phone. Opening it up, you saw that it was from Twilight. I opened his locker and have his bag. Some of the tension left your shoulders. Thank Celestia. You didn't think she'd manage to do it in time. Great. Rainbow's in the back of the school. Send Applejack down here so she can distract the teacher. You go and get the van ready. Alright, good luck. Thanks. You slipped your phone into your pocket and took a deep breath. Alright, all you need to do was wait for Shy to come back and you could start. Looking over at Pinky, you saw that she was almost finished with her cake. Like usual, it was a massive thing. At least 8 inches high with at least a dozen roses covering it, and a wavy pattern on each side. You couldn't help but shake your head. Sorry.
Trying to get the burp timing. Let's let it out, man.
I can't.
What, because the camera's on?
I can't burp, bitch.
Surprised I didn't send you out the other end, though, because we don't even do that. This video file is going to bed, so you know that, right?
You know he's probably not going to watch it.
I know.
Anyway, I've lost where I am. Only Pinky could manage to make such a huge cake in less than 20 minutes. Hey, Pinky, come over here for a sec. Pinky, partially covered in icing, perked up. Her eyes snapped over to you for a moment before they jumped over towards your target. Okie dokie, Sunny, she said, slowly getting down her sack of icing. Thunderlane, who was standing a few feet from her, flinched. Almost every guy in the room was staring at your group warily. Huddled in a corner next to the teacher, they could tell something was up. A few of them had their phones out, now they're texting the girls to leave class early to come get them. But you weren't out for any of these guys. Your target was the one guy that had his back turned towards you. Anon, the exchange student. Of course there's an exchange student. Unlike every other guy...
I'm going to law later, right?
Unlike every other guy here, he seemed oblivious to the tension in the air. He was too busy focused on his cake, bent over the thing while he did his best to ice it. To be honest, he wasn't doing a very good job. The cake really didn't look like a cake, and you were pretty sure icing wasn't supposed to look all crumbly like that. Still, he looked cute concentrating as hard as he was, and if he kept focused on his cake for a few minutes longer, it was going to make your operation a lot easier. The door to the classroom opened, revealing a flustered Fluttershy. She was hugging her arms close to her chest, and her face was as red as a fire hydrant. A quick once-over showed you that she was ready. Now all you needed to... Honk! You twisted as you felt someone reach under your shirt and grab your tits. Since you weren't wearing a bra, this person was able to take your nipple and give it a pinch with no effort. Ah! You gritted your teeth to keep...
She's read the line.
You gritted your teeth to keep from yelling, violently slapping out the hand. You looked up to see a grinning Pinky, because of course it was fucking Pinky. Pinky, what the fuck are you doing? You hissed as your eyes darted towards your teacher. Thankfully, he was too focused on his computer to notice what was happening. Thankfully, he was too focused on his computer to notice what was happening. Pinky giggled. I was giving your sun cup some loving, Sonny. That didn't. No, I'm trying that again.
You got plenty of space. You got terabyte SSD fucking filler.
Pinky giggled. I was giving your sun cup some loving, Sonny. She chirped, trying to give your boobs another squeeze. You slapped her hand away. Will you quit it, you dyke? We're about to start the whole operation and... But I want to play with your boobies. I don't give a fuck. I have a fever, Sonny. Pinky. And the only prescription is more big, beautiful boobies.
What? How have you harnessed Pinky so well?
I need you to scroll, please.
I can see the vein popping out in my fucking...
Just do some contouring.
I know exactly what we're going to do next, by the way, so I'm just going to segue, bring it over here, so you guys...
Wait, was that it? Was that the end of the script?
No, it's more of it. I'm just bringing the next one up ready. So you can have clackety keyboard. Actually, no, this isn't a clacky one. I can be quiet with this one.
I can do to scroll.
Oh, wait. Oh, yes, scroll. Big beautiful boobies. Ignore the red line. I said ignore it, bitch. Don't look at the red...
I'm trying to read. And you got just what I need. What the fuck were you going to do with this girl? Shaking your head, you grabbed her by the shoulder and forced her to sit down next to you. Just try to act normal for a couple more minutes. Applejack is coming.
Is she now?
Damn it.
What are we reading? We take this one seriously, ladies and gentlemen.
The door suddenly opened. You and half the class turned to see Applejack poke her head through the door. Speaking of the devil, Mr. Hooves. The teacher, Mr. Hooves, looked up from his computer with a bored expression.
Can I help you, Applejack?
Your friend nodded, stepping into him. Yeah, Principal Celestia sent me down to tell y'all that something was happening to one of her cats.
Where were you for the last fucking script, right? Where were you for Court and Anon? I'm bringing you in from now.
In an instant, your teacher's bored expression was placed with a look of fear.
One of my cats?
He said, sitting up. Yes, sir. The principal said something about dogs.
The neighbour's dogs finally came over my fence to get at my babies.
Mr. Hooves yelled, leaping to his feet in a panic.
Well, I'm not going to stand for it. I don't care what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have those beasts put down. Daddy's going to avenge his babies. Class dismissed.
With that, the teacher ran out of the room as fast as he could, not bothering to ask why the principal would send Applejack to tell him. The jackass. The second he was gone, your...
That's racist. That's racist to donkeys.
No offense.
Yeah, we were... Carrying on. Anyway, carrying on.
The second he was gone, your fellow students began getting... The second he was gone, your fellow students began getting up and leaving. The guys in particular were quick to rush out the door. One of them tried to reach out to touch Anon, but another guy grabbed him by the collar, shook his head, and led him out the door. Anon, thankfully, was so focused on his cake that he probably didn't even hear the teacher leaving. Good. You nudged Rarity then flushed.
I can hear the Mr. Burns.
Excellent. You nudged Rarity, then Fluttershy as the last student left and Applejack closed the doors behind them. Alright, girls, we're live.
Be Anon, making a bomb-ass cake. But not just any bomb-ass cake. This is going to be the best cake that your shithead teacher had ever seen. He was going to be so impressed by it, he'd give you an A. The first fucking A that you got in this shitty piece of shit, stupid-ass faggot class.
Jesus.
Hey, I'm reading it, right?
Yeah.
You were going to do it. It was going to happen. You were going to show everyone that you could cook something edible. You didn't need your group. You didn't need a recipe book. You didn't need anything. God fucking damn it. You licked your dry lips, carefully applying the last bit of icing. You had come in early this morning to make it out of the finest ingredients that you could find in the back of the home ec fridge. It was delicious. Just the right amount of egg, food colouring, and salt. Oh yeah, this was fucking be it. That A was yours.
Anon?
You tensed, lifting the knife in your hand away from the cake so that you didn't disturb the icing. You then carefully stood up and stepped away from your masterpiece. Only when you checked to see if anyone... It's my turn now. Only when you checked to see if anyone was around to harm your baby did you turn around to see who was bothering you. Didn't they see you were in the zone? That fucking Philistine. To your surprise, you saw it was Fluttershy. She was tracing a circle on the floor with the tip of her shoe, her hands behind her back, and her face was as red as you've ever seen it. You frowned. What the heck did she want? Hello, fat tits. Through some unknown cosmic force, your gaze slowly slid down from Yellow Quiet's face to her chest. There you noticed something very interesting. Flutters wasn't wearing a bra, and her thin white shirt did nothing at all to hide her massive tits. You could see everything: the curvature of her breasts, the size and colour of her areolas, her nipples poking up against the fabric. Like a deer in the headlights, you froze. Just taking a second to enjoy the view.
They have nothing to the imagination, clearly.
Nice. To your delight, Fluttershy jetted her chest out, causing her boobs to bounce in the most delightful of ways.
Anon, could you look at me a little longer, please?
She mumbled. Ever the smooth criminal. You answered to the best of your ability. Someone giggled behind you. Before you could tear your gaze from the beautiful mountain in front of you to see who having a giggle, a pair of arms wrapped around you, pinning yours in place. Hey now, what's all this then? Naturally began to struggle. Hey, what the fuck is tits? Your eyes widened as Sunset, completely topless, stepped into view. Her boobs might not have been as big as Fluttershy's, but they're still pretty awesome. You could see a heft in them, and her nipples looked like they were the perfect size to suckle. Her boobs were also out in the open, right where you could see them. You didn't have to pay her or anything. Another pair of hands quickly entered your belt and began unzipping your pants, but you were too busy oogling to do anything more than stare. Nice. Back to you. You're gonna read this bit.
Oh boy. Ooh. You couldn't help but chuckle at Anon's expression. Oh, what a little cutie. Taking a step forward, you bounced on your heels. So how's it going, Anon? You asked, puffing your chest out. Are you ready for a nice long weekend?
I don't think you looked at the camera for that bit.
I can't help it.
Two bored university students with nothing better to do sit here reading My Little Pony pornography in front of a camera, and the camera's only on because somebody keeps pulling faces and raising her eyebrows anytime anything suggestive said. And you can tell who I'm talking about by the fact I use the pronoun her. Anyway.
Anon's brow furrowed as Rarity slipped down his pants. revealing a pair of bright green boxers. He then opened his mouth. You tensed. Oh shit, he was about to scream for help. Darting forward, you quickly grabbed the back of his head and forced his face between your boobs. Applejack, hold him tight. Rarity, get those pants off and do your thing.
That should be spelled thing, let's be fair.
Fine, do your thing.
Do your thing, do your thing.
Anon wiggled, his nose brushing across your bare chests. Got more than one apparently.
Well, there's more than one out.
Anon wiggled, his nose brushing across your bare breasts. Shivering, you looked over at Fluttershy. Flutters, get that shirt off. You need to help me keep Anon quiet. Somehow, Fluttershy's race reddened.
I just to point out, it actually says race reddened, doesn't it?
Somehow, Fluttershy's face reddened. Are you sure? Maybe I could. If you don't help, he's gonna start yelling. Beep! As Fluttershy began pulling off her top, you looked down at Rarity. She had a small smile on her face as she slipped her hand down Anon's boxers. Anon, feeling this, began to squirm harder, but thankfully Applejack was able to hold him in place. Will you quit messing around and get to work, Rare? She demanded with a huff. I want to get out of here before someone walks in on us. Rarity rolled her eyes. Applejack, my dear, you simply cannot rush perfection, she said as her hand wrapping around Anon's length. Anon tensed, mumbling into your tit. Things like this take time. You're just jerking him off, Rare. Rarity gasped, looking up at Applejack in shock. I am doing no such thing. A lady such as myself does not just jerk. I stroke. Please. Pleasure.
That's why I wish I had my vibrator in front of me so I could just fucking do it.
Anon grunted. God damn it!
Stick vibrator into pocket pussy and just... Yeah, because that's how we... Oh, God. Do we need to bring Karis in here so she can piss herself in the back? Shall we ask our editor my editor to show up, shall we? Well, impromptu editor.
Where am I?
Lost, like the poor childs we are.
Alright, I know I am.
Yeah.
Anon grunted as she gave his length a squeeze, his knees knocking together. The fashionista smiled at his reaction. Now you ladies just sit back and watch a master play her trade. Without another word, Rarity slipped her other... there's not a comma there. Without another word, Rarity slipped her other hand into the slit in front of Anon's boxers and went to work. There's always something almost otherworldly about Rarity's hand jobs. Sure, since you were a pony not so long ago, it was otherworldly because you didn't have hands back home. It wasn't like you've seen her do this all in the... Sure, since you were a pony not so long ago, it was otherworldly because you didn't have hands back home. And it wasn't like you've seen her do this all that many times, but even so, it was something else. Rarity's hands were small, soft, nimble. She had a craftswoman's touch. Every movement was purposeful. In just a few strokes, she was able to get Anon into full hardness. Oh, well, that's a handful, the fashionista commented, one of her hands slipping down to fondle Anon's balls. Anon groaned, his hips bucking.
We're reading this as well.
I've read enough smut in my time, damn it.
Oh god, just can't wait to the fucking... Bruh, I've got some ideas for the drinking one. Oh my god, I've got a story I'm going to get you to narrate and say.
Oh, fuck.
Because you'll be reading it out loud for the first time as well, which is so much better.
Okay. Anon groaned, his hips bucking.
That is our editor showing up, ladies and gentlemen.
She's probably come to...
After invitation.
Ooh.
Hi, we're on the spot.
I want to go do you, yeah?
Yeah, hi.
Bro, we have such a fucking laugh.
Why? I have questions about your bedding.
Yeah, well, what? It's in or the fuck? Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, that.
I spilled shit on it and it's gone all... fucking orange juice, essentially, is what it was.
So I say, you spilled shit on it?
It was just a colour question.
Yeah, it's stained. It's stained.
It's not sticky.
You were going to edit this bit out. We ain't going to talk about this bit, you're just going to suddenly appear in the background.
Okay.
Also, the webcam's only on because this motherfucker kept raising eyebrows and shit when we were recording.
Also, I have my PG pyjamas on.
PG pyjamas? What are we reading? We're on the smut.
Hey, at least it's not Pokemon smart.
No.
Because there is plenty of that around.
I'm trying to get mood. Oh no.
You're good, Chief.
You're gonna have fun looking through the video for this.
Oh, yeah.
So I've just discovered something. I'm a fucking idiot. In
Yeah.
the
Fucking
sense of, so when I went home for Easter, I was planning on bringing my Switch. So I plugged in my Switch charger. I left my Switch here over Easter.
You
I
left your
came
Switch
back-
charger at home, didn't you?
Yes, I have.
For fuck's sake.
Because I can't pause this version, all of this is being recorded. Because I can't. No, I can't.
I was going to say, yes, you can pause it.
Never mind. I'm going to pause this, and when we're done, we're going to continue with this recording.
No.
Anyway, we're back. Where were we?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that's a handful.
Oh, yeah. Anon groaned, his hips bucking. Well, this would fucking hell!
I'm right back. I have to show you where we are now because I've joined in on what the fuck.
We ain't going to put you in this one yet. We'll put you in the
Aye.
next one. It's just you're just going to appear.
Yeah,
Surprise,
halfway through the
motherfucker.
recording. Surprise, motherfucker. Alright,
our race has appeared. A green or race.
A single pink green
A
rose.
simple play. A simple green
This
or
is my
white race.
editing tutorial person who is a makeshift editor for a while.
Yay.
Well, this would usually be hot. Like, really hot. The moan was loud. Loud enough that your tits didn't muffle it. Shy, is your shirt off yet? There was some shuffling to your left. Yes? Looking over, you saw Fluttershy was indeed topless. Good. Now get over here and help me. Anon groaned again, his cock throbbing through his boxers. Hurry up before someone hears. With another eep. I don't know why I'm doing it at that pitch.
It's about right for Fluttershy, to be fair.
Fluttershy rushed over to you. Stepping to the side, you lifted Anon's face from your cleavage. Anon, looking dazed and confused, blinked owlishly.
I have the right to admit it.
Before he could finish, you shoved his head between Flutter's boobs. His knees buckled, and if it weren't for Applejack holding him, he might have fallen over. Oh, he seemed to like that, dears, Rarity said, her hands teasing his cockhead.
See it in her face. Because I can see it.
I look like fucking Quagmire.
Giggity.
Giggity, 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 giggity.
You know what would make it worse? If I was the one sat there with that teddy bear on my lap while we're reading these out.
No, I bring my llama in.
No, it's just because it's covering my crotch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
I think I've read this story so many fucking times. It's just funny shit at this point. Also, I'm gonna pause it. And we're back.
You nodded, stepping away. Fantastic. Flutters, press your tits together. Make sure to engulf his face with them. Okay. Fluttershy mumbled, using her arms to push her boobs together. I'm sorry, Hanon. I hope you're not uncomfortable. Anon's hips bucked, and he let out another loud, long, muffled moan. You bit your lip. How's it going, Rare? Rarity let out a hum. This poor boy seems to be pent up. He's already leaking all over my hands, she said, giving Anon's side a nip. It shouldn't be much longer now, dears. The fashionista quickened her pace. You could hear...
We're going to wave slightly away from the smut with the next one as well, just as an FYI. As funny as this shit is.
You could hear her hands wetly pumping his shaft, seeing pleasure-filled eyes poking just above Flutter's boobs. Your nostrils flared, taking in the scent of an aroused male. A shiver ran through your body at his potency. Oh yes, he was going to do just fine. Fluttershy let out a little giggle. He's licking me, she said, using one hand to push Anon's face deeper into her cleavage while the other played with his hair. Anon grunted. But I can see you looking behind.
I've got a sneeze coming.
I feel it coming.
Yeah, just let it out, man.
I can't, it's gone. I had to sneeze.
The whole point the way we're recording it the way we are is we're just deliberately going, oh, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Do the next bit.
Take a bit of my
Because we can
nose.
edit it.
I started hearing
It's bringing you in a bad idea.
Probably.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll bring you.
Yeah.
I have an idea what she can do in the next script, don't worry.
Oh boy.
I know what character she can play.
Anon grunted, bucking his hips again. You could see his body tensing. His hands slowly balled into fists and his breath quickened. Rarity, humming a little tune to herself, pulled Anon's pre-soaked cock out of the slit in his boxers. Applejack let out a whistle. Fuck's sake.
Applejack let out a whistle.
You weren't kidding, Rare. That boy's leaking more than an old broken pipe. Rarity licked her lips, one hand stroking his shaft while the other drew circles around his head. Come on, dear, let it all out. Give it to Mama. Anon groaned again.
I'm tired. It's past my bedtime.
Just to point out as well, in case anyone has to go at me, no, I did not bring a child into the story. She is actually older than we are.
By quite a bit as well.
Yeah, and we're both of age, so this is fine. I can see the comments. They're gonna post this on YouTube.
Oh god. I don't think YouTube would allow it. Oh, I probably would actually, never mind.
Yeah, you can have 18 plus content, but you gotta thing it as so, and you can't. If it's reading, it's allowed.
Fair enough.
I checked the rules.
Yeah, the video's not 18 plus, it's fine.
That's. Hold on, if it comes down to it.
This is not how I'm actually getting famous on Pornhub.
That's how I thought my Friday night would end.
It's like the fucking B movie shit, you know about? Someone put the B movie on Pornhub.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Right, just saying Pornhub is gonna get me demonetized.
Just Hub.
Ponyhub.
Ponyhub, yes!
No, because Pornhub is.
Pornhub!
This is just my channel from now on. It's gonna change. I'm gonna go in, edit it back so all the swear words are replaced with like bucking and fucking shit like that.
I don't know.
Make it kid friendly. I'll just record like bucking to put over the top. A comment. Anyway, back to the script because I didn't pause it.
No, I know you didn't.
That's gonna be fun to edit.
Oh yeah. Rarity licked her lips, one hand stroking his shaft while the other drew circles around his head. Come on, dear, let it all out. Give it to Mama. Anon groaned again, humping Rarity's hands. You could see his cock pulsing from here. He wasn't going to last much longer, and from how much pre he was leaking, you could already tell that this was going to be a big one. A few strokes later, Anon showed you just how pent up he was. With a muffled shout, he bucked his hips one more time.
You know what I want to do? I'm gonna pause it so that this doesn't get recorded.
Where am I? A few strokes later, Anon showed you just how pent up he was. With a muffled shout, he bucked his hips one last time. His cock twitched hard in Rarity's hands, and his head ballooned. And then he was coming. Watch yourselves, girls, Rarity called as the first load flew from his tip. Fluttershy, still holding Anon close to her chest, tried to move away, but she was too late. Anon's cum hit her bare stomach, making her flinch. Oh my.
You missed it earlier where she fucking channeled Pinkie Pie. I'll play it back in a bit, but oh my god.
Come on, Rare, at least aim a little, Applejack said, clearly annoyed. Rarity huffed just as the second load came. I'm trying my best, darling, but Anon here has quite the kick. This time the cum flew between Flutter's legs to hit the floor with an audible splat. Your mouth open for that audible splat, huh?
That's my fish cake.
She put in a fish cake as Anna's jizzing all over the cat.
No, it was all something sound fishy. And it was in the bones.
This was a brilliant idea, ladies and gentlemen.
You invited me.
Mares and stallions.
You invited me.
I'm aware, I sent a message. You see me saying it on camera, but oh, it's a brilliant idea. What could possibly go wrong?
Anon came again, and again, and again. Each load was heavy and thick. And
It sounds like you're saying anal, not...
Yeah, it's Anon.
Anon.
Yeah, because you say
Anon.
Anon.
Why did you correct me in the beginning?
Because you've been doing it for full script so far, so just for fucking
Why did you correct me in the first place?
Don't bother. It's Anon now. It's
It's
Anon.
now Anon. And anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous. It's Anon.
Anonymous.
It's Anon.
Each load was heavy and thick and potent. It coated the floor. Parts of Flutter's legs and the sides of her shoes. It wasn't until the 15th spurt did he finally stop. And even then, he was dribbling into Rarity's hands as she continued to dutifully stroke him. Holy fucking shit! Applejack let out a low whistle. Now that was a mighty fine load, she said.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am so annoyed that you could do Applejack so well. Like, you could do the accent so well, and my attempt is so piss-poor in comparison, man.
Yeah, your southern accent was awful.
Yeah, it was
It wasn't
pathetic.
even,
Yeah.
I didn't even realise, because you remember the southern accent, I didn't know when Applejack actually started, because there was no accent.
I was reading it and focusing on reading it correctly, and then also at the same time, I wasn't really paying attention to putting the twang in.
Yeah, that was a bit you was missing the twang.
And then I've remembered, oh shit, I've got to do the Luna part. Yeah. Also, plug Courting Anon on whatever I end up putting it. There you go. Watch, like, subscribe, comment.
I've just realised how long your eyelashes are and I'm jealous.
Oh, we're getting that point already. Can
Yeah.
you leave that for the in-between parts?
Sorry.
Fucking thing's only half an hour long. We're nearly at the end. We're
Okay.
2/3 through this.
Yeah, we'll have to edit this.
Applejack let out a low whistle. Now that was a mighty fine load, she said. Rarity nodded slowly, eyeing Anon's slick, glistening cock with unrestrained hunger. Yes, he was very giving, wasn't he? Leaning over, you swiped a bit of cum dripping from Flutter's belly and popped it in your mouth. Huh? It was sweet. You guessed that Twy was right when she said that he ate.
It's Twee. When I said that, it's Twee.
You guessed that Twee was right when she said that he ate a lot of fruit. A quick glance at Anon showed that all of the fight had been jerked out of him. All of the tension in his body was completely gone. There was a thin sheen of sweat on his body, and you could see his chest heaving as he desperately tried to catch his breath. He wasn't going to be yelling anytime soon.
I will be, though.
Yes, you will.
The amount of time of my recording sessions I've had to stop because of my notifications go off on my phone. You can hear a lot of the recordings of me going, for fuck's sake!
You can blame Justin Bieber for that, but...
Yeah, I just blame Justin Bieber. I'm blaming Justin Bieber for it. It's your fault, Justin. You know exactly what I'm on about.
You just posted on Instagram.
Post it on Instagram. That clip. Just that clip. Of us trying to record. You know you did.
Just say,
Naughty.
I just DM him it because he follows me so I can DM him.
Just fucking DM him that shit.
Like, this is what you've done. Look what you made me do.
It's a laugh still.
What you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Well, we can't put up on YouTube now because starting Taylor Swift. That's not demonetized.
Tomorrow's our fucking copyright claim.
Yeah, Taylor Swift got her asses down.
It's alright, we'll cut this. We'll edit all of this out.
We'll edit, you mean I'll edit.
Wow, I'll have a go, like. I don't know what I'm doing.
Is it sunset? You looked over at Fluttershy, who had taken a sudden interest in the cum-covered floor. Is there any more cum? I want to taste it. You smiled. Sure, Shy. You said, wiping the last bit of cum on her belly with a finger and offering it to her. Have a taste. She popped your finger in her mouth with a delighted smile. You could look at the other girls. You looked at the other girls. Hey, if you girls want to taste, you better get one now. We need to meet up with the others in 2 minutes. Licking her lips, Rarity leaned forward and planted a kiss on the top of Anon's semi-hard cock. Don't mind if I do. Huffing, Applejack frowned down at the fashionista. Hey, don't you all go looking all that up. I want some too. Turning around, she looked for Pinky, who had been strangely silent. What about you, Pinky? Do you... You paused when you saw Pinky standing over what was left of Anon's cake. Her face was covered in frosting, and she had a handful of cake in each hand. A quick glance over towards your work zone showed that the giant cake was missing. Fucking Pinky. Pinky, feeling your gaze on her, looked up, swallowing her mouthful of cake. You want some, Sonny? She asked. I know that it doesn't all look that good, but it's pretty yummy. Come on. Go, go, go. Watch those corners, Flutters.
You are... you're fucking someone. The green guy. You wore a suit. Name starts with A. Annie or something like that. It's really hard to think after someone pulled down your pants and made you cum your brains out in less than 2 minutes. In fact, it made it hard to do anything other than breathing. You can feel a pair of... it's my turn now. Every first sentence or so when we transition over, I'm going to fuck it up. You can feel a few pairs of hands on you. One set was lifting you by your belt, while the other was being wrapped around your middle. And from the way you were bouncing, you could tell that you were being carried somewhere. You couldn't see where you were going, of course, since Sunset had decided to mash your face into her tits. Well, they weren't quite as big as Fluttershy eyes, and they were unfortunately covered by a shirt. They did a hell of a job blocking your vision. They're also a bit softer than Flutter's, and smelled like peaches. All in all, you had had your face in worse places.
Like the cheeks for the farting?
Yeah, plug. Plug, what moves want.
The coast is clear. Alright, ladies, get those asses moving. We have 30 seconds till evac.
You try to lift your head from Sunset's cleavage to get a look at where you're being carried, only for a hand to force you back down.
Oh, no, you don't. You keep your face right there, cutie.
Sunset shirt, running a hand through your hair. You said, your voice muffled by tit flesh.
Don't worry your pretty head. Me and the girls are going to take real good care of you for the next couple of days. Pinky, the door.
You heard a set of doors being thrown open. The air became chilly and windy. They were taking you outside of the school. But why?
Come on!
Someone said that sounded awfully like Twilight shouted.
We need to be 3 kilometers away before the final bell rings.
I think there's supposed to be a point in this, aren't we? the way it's written.
I have no idea.
Without a bit of warning, your face was lifted from Sunset's jugs. You blinked as sunlight invaded your senses. I plead the fifth, you mumbled, still very much out of it, even as the girls lifted you into some random white van. I didn't do nothing. Sunset, giving you a quick kiss, climbed in first, making sure to lock the door on his side. Rarity and Applejack climbed in the seats behind you, buckling up. Pinky, almost before you were fully seated, plopped her big, round, soft ass into your lap, straddling you.
Hiya, Nanny!
She chirped.
What?
I'm fucking breaking me, man. Wrapped her arms around your neck as you let out a groan.
The seat isn't taken, is it?
Reaching over, Fluttershy, who had slid in next to you, effectively leaving you nowhere to go, closed the van's door with a slam.
The egg is in the basket. The egg is in the basket.
Sunset said, giving Rainbow, who was driving this van for some reason, a slap on the shoulder.
Now let's get into the market.
Nodding, Rainbow threw the car into gear. The tyres squealed, and your stomach sunk down into your ass as the car suddenly and violently propelled forward. The momentum drove you forward into Pinky's sizable chest. She giggled, holding you close while she grinded her big ass against you.
You want to give Ponyville's premier party girl a hug, Nanas? Well, I don't mind if you do.
You groaned, feeling your cock starting to stiffen. You groaned, feeling your cock starting to stiffen under her skillful assault.
Woo! It's already getting hard again.
The chair jumper that.
I'm
gonna be like Zen in a minute because I'm trying not to fucking die.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I seriously hope someone walks past on that line.
Yes.
Because then you're just through the door and hear her saying, in my room, woo, he's already getting hard again.
What do you mean Ben walk past and be like...
Consider we can
Yeah,
hear
but
you
Ben
laugh.
walk past, don't you?
No, you wouldn't. Consider we can hear you laughing as well. Joe's going to walk in here with some very interesting questions. Another minute or so to edit out later. The other... That was a lid on it, right? Oh, thank fuck.
Wait, my head went down.
It's going to look great on camera. What did you guys do on your Friday night? Oh, nothing. Fucking... No! I'm pausing the record in a minute. And after that terrible pun, the other girls perked up.
Really? I don't... Why did they do that in Rarity's voice?
Yeah, your Sunset.
Really? I thought Rarity uncorked those balls of his.
Sunset said. Rarity, leaning over the seat, reached down and fumbled your dick. Fuck. You moaned, your eyes crossing. I'm not doing my full sexy voice with you guys. This is too weird.
Oh my. It looks like we're having a live one. Oh my. It looks like we're having a live one, girls.
She said, giving you a few strokes before pulling away. Pinky grinned, leaning down and licking your nose.
We're gonna have so much fun, Nonas. You're gonna love it.
Looking over at her, you drew in all of your verbal skill and opened your mouth. The cookies are in the oven, Grandma. Pinky's eyes widened.
Oh, what kind of cookies? Did your granny make chocolate? Nonny? Can I have some? Pinky!
Sunset said, clearly annoyed. Pinky sat in your lap. The movement sandwiched your cock between your butt cheeks. Woo, lad. Woo.
What? I'd save you some, Sonny.
The party girl said with a little bounce.
Sharing is caring.
And transitioned back to you.
Rainbow made it to your house in 10 minutes and 32 seconds, just like during your practice runs. Pinky managed to keep Anon quiet and docile. Thank you. Pinky managed to keep Anon quiet and docile for the whole ride, nuzzling and hugging and kissing him. Every once in a while, Fluttershy would help out by reaching underneath Pinky's ass and give him a couple strokes. You, meanwhile, were sitting back with a big old smile on your face. The operation was a complete success. You had extracted a desirable male from the school without anyone stopping you. All you need to do was carry Anon here into your house, and you could call it a day. You and the girls would fuck his brains out. You'd mark him with your scent so that other girls would know to fuck off. He probably wasn't going to be much of a cook, but if he kept coming like he had, then you were looking forward to him being in the herd. And from the groans he was making whenever Fluttershy stroked him, and the way he kissed Pinky, you were sure he'd be happy with the arrangement sooner rather than later. Alright, Rainbow, just park us in front. Get ready, girls. We need to get him in there quick. You leaned over, giving Anon a pat on the cheek. Are you doing alright there, Nonny? Anon slowly lifted his face from Pinky's boobs and looked over at you with a half-lidded glazed eyes.
I am very, very erect.
Alrighty then.
No, it's you gotta read it like fucking Ace Ventura.
Alrighty then.
I have to put warning may contain memes. The title for this.
Yeah.
It's only a one shot as well.
Alrighty then. Giving the silly man a kiss on the cheek, you readied yourself. The other girls tensed as well, their hands reaching for the doors. When Rainbow skidded in front of your house, Fluttershy threw open the doors. You wrapped an arm around Anon's back. Go, go, go! You said, pushing him towards the door. With military-like precision, all of you scrambled out of the van. Rainbow and Applejack grabbed Anon, hauling him out of the floor. You, ignoring Pinky giving your tit a squeeze, mashed his face into your cleavage to keep him calm. Twilight, hurry up and... Oh, hello, Sunset, dear. All of your heads ripped round to see your neighbour Matilda watering her roses, a straw hat on her head. Afternoon, Matilda, he called, wincing when you felt Anon gently bite your tit. For a second you thought he was going to try and bite your nipple off, but to your relief he only started nibbling. Matilda looked at each and every one of you. Her smile widened when her eyes settled on Anon. Oh, did you guys finally find yourself a man? Yep, you replied, running a hand through Anon's hair. Matilda nodded, brushing a bit of dirt onto her blue jeans. Well, you girls have fun. Make sure to be good to that boy. You and the other girls nodded. Yes, ma'am, you all said at once. At this moment, Anon decided to lift his head from his cleavage. He looked over at your neighbour.
These girls made me come really, really hard.
He said matter-of-factly.
I like the pink one's butt and the yellow and bacon one have really nice boobs, Miss Donkey.
That's very nice, dear, Matilda said, smiling. Sunset and the girls are a couple of fine women. You won't find a better herd. Looking over at you, your neighbour winked as she placed Anon's face back where it belonged. Make sure to give him a good old ride, hun. You grinned, a shiver running through you when you felt Anon sucking on your nipple like a pacifier. Yes, ma'am.
And that's the end of that one.
Finally.